Last episode ended with a promise: go after the bleeding. So this week, I did. I split the book strategy by strategy, 30 days, 93 closed trades, and not one line was green. So I started cutting. 2 strategies are gone. Here's what's left. Welcome back to Edge Lab. Same pact, honest quant, real logs, nothing to sell. Last time, I cleaned the books and gave you one honest number. Today, the books talk back. And what they say costs 2 strategies their lives. First, the verdict that forced my hand. For 30 days on the paper account, I matched every closed trade to the strategy that made it. 93 round trips. The line that stung: not a single strategy is net positive over those 30 days. Not one. But because the books are clean, the loss has a shape. About a third of the damage came from no strategy at all, it came from cleanup. Me, closing leftover positions that had slipped their leash before the tracking fixes. And the worst actual strategy was the busiest one. It wins 46% of the time, sounds almost fine. It isn't. Its average loss is bigger than its average win. A coin that pays you less on heads than it takes on tails. The more it flips, the more it bleeds. So I cut. The busy bleeder, killed. It was flat at the broker, no open positions, so the cut was clean. One switch, fully reversible. I have no plans to flip it back. Busy is not a reason to live. The overnight gap trade, the one that buys the close and sells the next morning's open, retired too. I gave it weeks of chances. The edge never showed up. And the admission that hurts, the post-earnings approach, the one I told you last episode was the only strategy in the black on the full 2-month book. That was true. But on the most recent 30 days, even it was back in the red. I had already retired it before that episode aired. That's how fast a small edge can rot. The honest move isn't defending last week's bright spot. It's rechecking it. Before trusting the leaner book, I stress-tested it. All 9 strategies, 6 alive, 3 dead, traced wire by wire. Does the signal fire? Does the order land? Does the protection actually exist at the broker? And every verdict got a second pass whose only job was to prove the first one wrong. Result: 0 broken wires. Which means the losses are no longer a plumbing problem. They're an edge problem. That's worse news, and better news, at the same time. The audit also caught a trap. A stock I had already fully exited still had 2 live sell orders sitting at the broker, 11 shares worth. Position: 0. Orders: armed. If one had triggered, the account would have sold shares it didn't own. A short position I never asked for, born from leftovers. Both orders cancelled, confirmed. Which leaves the real question. If cutting losers can't make the book win, where does a winner come from? I tried the brute force answer. A machine generated 200 candidate strategies, and every single one went through an honest sieve, no peeking at the future, real trading costs, judged on data it had never seen, and a penalty for every extra attempt, because when you try 200 things, a few will look brilliant by pure luck. Survivors: 0. And that 0 is the most trustworthy number in this episode. A sieve that hands you winners on the first pass isn't finding edge, it's flattering you. There is no easy money lying in plain sight on the daily charts of the biggest stocks. The next edge won't come from grinding the same data harder. It will come from new data, or a real idea, tested the same honest way. That's the hunt now. So here's the leaner book. 6 strategies live. Every wire checked, every position protected, none of them proven. Still paper. Still red. Still honest. The machine runs, the edge is still missing. But every fake number is gone, and what's left is the only thing worth building on. Episode 6, The Orphans. When a strategy dies, what happens to the trades it leaves behind? I went looking. 9 positions had no safety net, and 8 of them belonged to nobody. Until then, watch the logs, not the gurus. For educational purposes only. Not financial advice.